Hello, I'm Gail. I'm Creative Director of Madwomen, a new agency, and in fact the very first agency to be started by women, senior agency women, who are going to be specialising in advertising to women.
And why have you gone about setting up this agency? What made you do it?
Well, we've realised, having worked in the industry for over 20 years, we've realised that clients with products that are aimed at women usually don't get women working on, particularly in the creative department, they won't get women working on their briefs. And if they do, the chances are the management team is going to be male, the creative director is going to be male. And working in agencies has seen that sometimes this can be detrimental to the work that the client gets. It doesn't have the insight and the empathy that only a woman can bring to the project. And we only have to look at the sort of advertising that we see on the TV, on websites, in the newspapers, in magazines. It's full of advertising that misses the mark when it comes to women. Women are being shortchanged, they deserve better, and we feel that Madwomen is really well placed to give clients an advantage, a female advantage, where it takes a woman to know a woman, and we really feel we can give clients the edge and help them win the hearts, minds and purses of the female consumer. And let's face it, women are the biggest market. These days, 87% of all purchase decisions are made by women, and yet 91% of all the ads we see are created by men.
How can that be? How can that still be the case though in an enlightened age, shall we say? How can it be that so few women are represented within the advertising agency?
Well, I don't know, and lots of people have loads of different opinions on why this is, and I'm not a man-hating feminist, I love men. I've always worked with men, I've often been one of the very few women in advertising creative departments, and I have 4 sons. I'm not against men at all, and a great male creative can create great work aimed at women. I'm just saying that I think there's a place for women to have much more involvement in the creative process, and this just isn't happening in agencies. I really can't say. I can guess at what the reasons are, and this is going to be something that will be debated. People keep saying, why are we still talking about gender? But we will still have to keep talking about gender, because with women being the main target audience for most of our clients' products, we need to see more women being actively involved, and it just isn't happening. I think it's about only 3% of creative directors are actually women. I mean, in the top 20 agencies, I can really only think of 1 or 2, maybe 3. I think it's quite difficult for women to see that they've got role models that are doing really well and doing really good ads. I know Laura Jordan-Bamback, who's now Executive Creative Director at Dare, she believes the same, that we have to bring young women on, and we have to give them chances, and we have to give them good role models. And I think by starting Madwomen, by starting an agency that's specialising in looking at how to advertise to women, how to really get under the skin of women and give them great advertising, I think that's giving women the right messages. And I also think we need to show the world that we shouldn't put up with the sort of ads that we get that really portray women as just sitting around in the kitchen talking about yoghurt, or lying on the sofa popping in yet another chocolate, or talking about cleaning products. And the other kind of advertising where you see men acting really stupidly and oafishly and women kind of laughing at them, that's not right either. You know, we do deserve more. We deserve more insightful ads. There are some great ads aimed at men. There's some great car advertising, beer advertising. I don't think particularly female-orientated products get the attention they deserve. Sometimes in agencies it is seen as, you know, the product, oh blimey, we haven't got any women in the creative department, let's call a freelancer, let's call a female freelancer to come in and help us. This happens to me all the time. Only last week, quite a big agency actually called me up. They had a brief. It was a very female-orientated product, and they called me up and said, well, we only have men in our creative department, can you come in and help us out? Actually, I couldn't, because I'm too busy setting up my own agency now.
In terms of, if you could highlight any campaigns that you think have represented women or targeted women really well, are there any in particular that you feel are outstanding?
Well, I know it's an old cliche now, but I think the Dove Real Women campaign was fantastic, and I know it did have a huge involvement from women in developing that campaign. It was really new, and it really went against. I mean, I actually used to work on Dove a long time ago at Ogilvy, and it was all testimonials, it was all male clients saying all women want to hear is other women talking about this soap and how lovely it is on their skin. And actually, you know, it didn't work, really. Women just thought Dove was an old-fashioned brand, just trying to get them to to put some old-fashioned kind of stuff on their skin. And the brand was really enlivened with the Real Women campaign. Okay, not all of it worked, but I think it was a really, really brave attempt at changing the status quo and sort of getting the power back to women and talking about our bodies, you know, pro-age rather than anti-aging, you know, real women's body shapes. Things like that. I mean, I always hark back to Barbara Noakes' fantastic campaign for Dr. Wipes. I think that's been the one and only really, really great campaign for sanitary towels. And that was the great ads with the men in the bras and knickers going, imagine what it was like if men had periods. Now, I haven't seen anything that matches that. So why have we gone backwards? We now have, you know, the boring old sanitary towel adverts where everybody's worried about whether they can go horse riding or not. I mean, it just turns into wallpaper, really, doesn't it? Fairy ads, fairy liquid ads, I don't think they've changed since the 50s, have they? They're always the old 2 C's in a K. Do you still know what that means, 2 C's in a K? 2 cunts in a kitchen. When advertising agencies used to get a brief for a cleaning product or a female-orientated product, they'd say, oh yeah, well, we'll do a script, it'll be 2 C's in a K, won't it? And we do still see the 2 C's in a K commercials, don't we? And we also get sort of 5 C's in a dining room, don't we? Sitting around talking about the latest yoghurt. I know I'm talking about Activia. I know we shouldn't mention brands, but it's kind of a bit of a famous one now, a famous one that women absolutely love to hate. And then there's the tenor lady, isn't there? The tenor lady with the woman weeing herself and going, oops, as if it's just such a slight problem that just wearing some kind of fat sanitary towel is going to solve. Kind of patronising. Wonder what it would be like if men suffered from stress incontinence. I doubt we'd have that sort of those sort of ads, would we? You're going to have to give me a bit more time to think of some really good ones aimed at women.
No.